system.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the next edition of the Losers Lounge Podcast. I am your host, Christian freaking Maracle, and this is Losers Lounge Podcast number 68, actually. 68. It was supposed to be episode 69, but unfortunately we were not here last week for the AEW Full Gear review, and the reason for that is because I was hospitalized, and it was pretty brutal. And nothing physically serious happened. It was like a health condition with my chest. I'm doing well now. I'm on a good recovery, hopefully, and I need to get my focus back on track. But because of my recent medical issues, there might be a possibility that I may have to take some additional time off. We don't know that for sure, but I'll see what I can do to keep myself in a good pace and at the same time active for y'all. But in the meantime, please welcome additional people because there's quite a number of people here this time. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, first of all, Optimistic Hall of Famer, the Double R, Reister Ryan.
What is going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing good. It's good to be back here once again for another episode. Man, this has been a really crazy week, man. We are so close to the end of 2020. That is absolutely insane. But if there's one year that I want a year to be over with, it's definitely this year, 2020. So, but we are here to talk about Survivor Series. This is literally one of my favorite times of the year because you got Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. So I'm definitely I'm very excited for this. Hopefully it turns out very good. But hope you guys are doing well, staying safe, all that good stuff. Yeah. So thank you, Christian, once again for having me.
Of course. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome two-time Losers Lounge Member of the Year and Optimistic Hall of Famer, the heelest of Ballers.
Once again, Christian Maracle with the lovely introduction, like always. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the heelest of Balor, Sim Balor, Prince Balor, and fellow loser. Great to be back on another episode of the Losers Lounge Podcast. I'm very excited for Sunday, even though there really hasn't been that kind of build-up. But I am excited nonetheless, and I can't wait for Sunday. I'm very excited. Can't wait.
Excellent. And of course, we got two additional guests here with us. First of all, please welcome back. He's been on the podcast quite a number of times this year. Our good friend, Kmoney.
What is up, everybody out there? You know who I am. You know me, Kmoney, Black Negan, Blackberry Cassidy, whatever you want to call me. I'm back again, and I am so honored to be back here again on the fastest rising podcast in the history of the YWC.
Wow, that's quite an introduction. I like that. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the Losers Lounge Podcast for the first time in a year since, I believe, Hell in a Cell 2019, our good friend Leo the Phenom.
Thank you for that lovely introduction. It is so nice to be back on the Losers Lounge Podcast. Over a year, I was here for possibly the most controversial show of last year, which I had a blast talking with you guys, but now I'm here to predict this Sunday's Survivor Series, which brand supremacy is all the rage and doesn't really mean jack. But more importantly, we are here to celebrate 30 years of arguably the greatest wrestling character to ever grace the wrestling square circle, that it being the Undertaker. Personally, my favorite wrestler, past, present, and forever. No doubts about it. He is my idol, my hero from little till now. Sure, he might be quote-unquote retired. We'll see about that. But nonetheless, I still love the guy. He is the best, will always be the best no matter what you tell me.
All right. That's a really good point on that one. Ladies and gentlemen, this Sunday as Survivor Series, yes indeed, is the literal 30-year anniversary of The Undertaker. The November 22nd, 1990 was the literal day he showed up. And now it's going to be November 22nd, 2020 for this year's Survivor Series, so that's a very interesting coincidence on the calendar.
It's crazy.
If only.
Yeah.
You know, it's even.
All right.
What would happen if leap years never existed?
Yeah, it's even more crazy. It's even more crazy is that literally we were planning on going to Survivor Series this year. That was the plan this year, but unfortunately due to COVID, that is not happening.
Yeah,
But,
initial plans was
It just is what it is.
Survivor Series was going to be in Dallas, Texas, and I was going to return to Dallas to finally unite with Ryan and Connor, and hopefully maybe down the road KELSEY. I could find her somewhere. And we were going to be like hanging out, spending some time together, and then heading off to Survivor Series. It would have been actually great. I was honestly considered maybe I would leave a few days. I would head down to Texas a few days early, just so I can just spend some time with y'all.
Yeah.
That would have been fantastic.
Man. It's so sad. So sad.
But we will get our
But
chance.
hopefully maybe next year or maybe even the year after we'll get a shot.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let a technicality stop me.
Exactly.
In the meantime, folks, here's how things are gonna work. As we all know, this year's Survivor Series continues the trend of Raw versus SmackDown. Last year, NXT was involved in the mix. This year, NXT is not involved in the mix, and the reason for that is once again COVID.
Yeah.
That's
their own fault.
Yeah, there were several outbreaks of COVID-19 with the WWE Performance Center, and it's understandable that they want to keep those wrestlers away from the main roster wrestlers, especially since all these trying times we've been in. So many crazy things have happened when it comes to like COVID-19. Everything has changed drastically, whether it was like, this place got canceled or this is not even a thing anymore. 2020, without a doubt, has been a very brutal year. And most recently, I want to take this moment and says this Losers Lounge podcast is being tributed to the memory of the one and only Jeopardy's host, Alex Trebek.
Mm-hmm.
Who passed away on November the 9th after a near 2-year battle of stage 4 pancreatic cancer. So it's amazing to think that, how much he fought to keep himself healthy. But of course, it was just his time. But we all know that we're gonna make this a great show in his memory.
Yes, sir. I mean,
straight up legend.
Yes, sir. Heck yeah. It's been one of those years, and he was a good man, and I want to, I don't know. I mean, I want to take this time to get a little personal with myself here. These guys know I want to dedicate this podcast to my grandpa, who sadly passed away 2 weeks ago. A good man, and I know he's up there. He's proud of me, so I want to dedicate this podcast in his memory. I want to say to everyone, especially these guys out here, thoughts and prayers, all that stuff to me and my family personally. Yeah, it was tough, and they lived a good life. But this podcast is also, in memory to him as well.
Well done. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it just goes to show that 2020 has been a tough year for all of us. But as we always do, we gather on these podcasts, even despite these trying times, to make sure that you guys are entertained every single week with our banters, our rants, and most likely our fun.
Yeah, that's what we're all about. We are all about fun. We're all about excitement. We're all about wrestling. We are the number one podcast.
Now, I'll also take this moment to say, yes, we'll discuss the brand supremacy war first, and then after we're done talking about those matches, we're going to talk quickly about The Undertaker, and each one of us will talk about our favorite moments from his career. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Sounds good indeed. Before we get started, though, I want to take this moment and say, I know that this upcoming Sunday is 30 years of The Undertaker, but it's also 30 years of the Gobbledygooker, so don't you think he should show up?
Yeah.
Please bring in Hector Guerrero if he's not working with Impact anymore.
Yeah.
Bring the egg. Bring in the egg.
Yeah.
You have another dance segment, this time with the New Day.
Please.
Please do that.
Here's the thing.
Please do that.
Us in the Losers Lounge, we may not do much, but I guarantee if we were there, we probably would have a little dance-off with the gobbledygooker in the ring.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because we just want to have fun. That's what this is all about. And here's the thing. I also want to take this moment and say, Willie mentioned this before. Yes, there was not a lot of build-up to this because these 6 matches that were made official have been made official since the night after Hell in a Cell. And that was like a month ago. But I will say, the whole point of this is Raw versus SmackDown. That's how it's been the last few years. And I'm also going to take this moment and say that what doesn't make any sense to me is the constant complaints from everybody by saying, like, this whole thing is pointless and, nobody's going to get anywhere with this. The point of this is survival, and Survivor Series has always been about pointless survival matches. You look back to the history here. Go back to the early days from Survivor Series 1987 before to 1991. Every single match was a Survivor Series match, and most of the time, those guys were not even in a feud with each other. They were just put in Survivor Series matches just for the sake of it, because that's what it's called, tradition. The match is literally called a traditional Survivor Series match.
If anything, though, back then, there would probably be maybe one rivalry in the opposing teams, like, say, Team Hogan versus Team Andre.
Okay, yes, that is one. Yep, because, they had just come off their WrestleMania 3 match.
Yeah, and all that match was to build up to their eventual rematch at the main event in February the next year.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say, like, here's the thing. People are asking, well, what do the winners of these matches get from this? The response is simply bragging rights. I mean, that's what this has always been about.
Exactly.
Gotta understand. Here's the thing. When there's no big prize at the end of this, most people are just saying this is a waste of time. For my case, I say, well, that just takes the pressure off. Now we can just kick back and relax and just watch wrestling for the sake of watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing with people nowadays with wrestling. They are so in tune with what they want. And in tune with these characters that they don't realize that you're just watching a television show at the end of the day. But that's just how I think. But and just seeing the fan base, just so many times collapse and just cry over the stupidest of things. It's so stupid.
Yeah, I heard some people are saying the winners of each Survivor Series match should compete at the following pay-per-view in a 5-person something TLC match. The winner gets a title opportunity, or maybe it's for the title. I'm like, why?
Oh my God!
I'm like, why?
What would be the point of that?
Yeah,
that wouldn't really make any sense.
With that sword. If anything, the winners of the Survivor Series team should be getting an opportunity to be number 30 in the Royal Rumble, or a shot at something or something like that. Bragging rights.
Once again, it goes back to this is all about a war for bragging rights. That's how it always has been. That's why I've always looked at Survivor Series as Raw versus SmackDown, not this wrestler versus that wrestler. I mean, I've seen comments where people are like, well, on this match I'm cheering for that team, on the other match I'm going to cheer for that team. I'm like, wait, what? They're like, that's not how it works here. It's Raw versus SmackDown. Whichever brand you pick, you got to stick with it the whole night. Hell, when you do that, that means there are times you cheer for people you don't normally cheer for, and that's exciting.
Yeah, for instance, one of the best SmackDown versus Raw traditional Survivor Series matches, 2005. How many people were cheering on SmackDown who consisted of JBL and Randy Orton, who
at the time everybody was hating on
Bobby Lashley.
And
hello.
Here's the thing. If I end up, I don't know, as of this podcast recording, I don't know which side I'm rooting for, but if I end up choosing, let's say, for example, there's only an example, Monday Night Raw, that would mean some cool things. I mean, I get to cheer for the likes of AJ Styles, Shayna Baszler, Lashley, New Day, and Drew McIntyre. But there's a downside, which is I would have no choice but to root for Riddle and go against King Corbin.
Oh, you poor man.
And anybody who knows me knows that I have extreme dislike for Riddle, but I love King Corbin.
Keep in mind, this man loves King Corbin almost as much as I love Roman.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, oh
Like, I
god.
fucking love Roman.
As much as I love Finn Balor.
Well, lucky.
Let's not go that far.
Well, lucky enough for you, Willie. There is no NXT involved, so no Finn Balor involved.
That's a good thing. Because if Finn Balor was involved, and considering who the two champions are going at each other on this show with Roman and Drew, and putting little Finn Balor in there, yeah, it's actually a good thing that NXT's not involved, because they'll be like, you know what? Let's throw Balor to the wolves.
Yep. As we also
But even
history,
then, if NXT was involved, they win again.
Yeah. Think about this, and I'm also going to bring this up one more time, which is like as we know, it's Raw versus SmackDown, and a lot of people once again are saying that this whole thing is pointless, nobody gets anything from anything. If you think about it, though, this is honestly a personal fight for SmackDown, because SmackDown has not won at all.
Nope.
Yeah, ever since this whole brand split took place in 2016, SmackDown has not ever beaten Raw.
In 2016, the final score 3-2 in favor of Raw, and if you look at it, while SmackDown won the last match, Raw already won the war before that match took place.
Yep.
3-1 before that match took place. SmackDown may have got the last laugh in the last match, but Raw got the overall amount of points, 3-2. 2017, it kept going back and forth. I mean, Raw had a good lead at 2-0 before SmackDown got 3 consecutive wins, and then they took the lead. Then Raw got the next win. It was tied 3-3 before the main event. And that's, I'll be honest, when it comes to that men's Survivor Series match in 2017, when the score was tied 3-3, I was hyped, because I'm like, this is unpredictable. That's the other thing about this. These matches are unpredictable.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I'm like, any side can win this. That's what's so exciting about this. Like, which side's going to win? It's like, here's the thing. It's like, watch it. It's like, here's the thing. People complain that this is going to go nowhere. People are saying, like, all right, there's a lot of times you watch, like, example, hockey or football games in best of 7 series, and I know most of the time they're going on for, like, like their big cup, their big finals, the big Super Bowl thing. But there are a lot of games that are just going nowhere. I'm like, you got a problem with that?
Exactly.
Yeah, like, seriously.
And in my opinion, the best any sports finals or tournaments that goes best of 7 are the best ones.
They are. And anyways,
Exactly.
Raw got the win in 2017 as well, 4-3. 2018 was god awful.
Oh yeah.
That was pathetic.
It was like
Oh
6-1.
so
The final score was
SmackDown
6-1, and the only score that SmackDown got was on the pre-show. So on the screen, they didn't even count, and they said 6-0. I'm like, no, it was 6-1. One.
Well, I believe that match on the pre-show was actually supposed to be won by Raw, but they got a mix-up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank
Well-
God for the mix-up.
I got for the mix-up because at least SmackDown got 1 point on the card. So
But that was just completely stupid, honestly.
yeah, same thing with last year. Raw only got 1 point, and it was on the pre-show.
and that one was
That's
counted.
payback, though.
And here's the thing, like last year NXT was involved in the mix. NXT got the win not even halfway into the night. We already knew NXT won, so I'm like, wow, that was just pointless then.
Mm-hmm.
The
So-
only chance that show had was maybe, just maybe, the main event. If Bailey won, it would have made SmackDown and
tied.
NXT.
SmackDown and NXT would have been tied for the win. But unfortunately, NXT got the... Here's like, SmackDown did get more points than Raw that year, but unfortunately, the part that matters is NXT won, and SmackDown still lost.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, NXT won 4-2-1 in 2019. This year, it's... Raw's up 3-0 against SmackDown, because, I'll be honest, when it comes to the whole thing with NXT involved in the mix, I looked at it as like a spin-off, I'll be honest. The real fight is Raw versus SmackDown. NXT get involved, that was a spinoff. But this case, SmackDown, it's down 3 points. And if they're lucky, they could get 1 point in the win factor. But, well, let's go through each of the matches on what's going on. We'll see. We'll see whether or not. I'm actually going to keep score on this as well. As each one of us discuss the matches that are taking place, I'm going to keep a score to see which side, which of us voted the most for which brand. You know what I mean? And then we'll see whether or not we'll truly believe, at the end of this whole thing, whether or not Raw or SmackDown will get the win. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
On a personal note, there's only 6 matches available, which means there could be a possibility that there could be a tie, 3-3, and that would mean no winner. I'm like, wow, they need to add a 7th match. Even if it's on the pre-show, just put in a match on the pre-show. Because, like...
They'll likely do that.
At 2019, they did a great idea for the pre-show, which was they added a tri-branded battle royal, and I like that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
In my opinion, put in a battle royal of it's Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. Whichever brand is eliminated entirely, the other brand wins, just like they did in 2019. That could be the perfect way to kick things off and get the early lead. I like that idea. They should do that.
Yeah.
Because they can't do the tag team Survivor Series match because we don't have enough anymore.
Bingo.
So
Bingo.
let's just pretend that's gonna exist, okay? And I'm just gonna say, given there's a lot of wrestlers that are being left off the card because of this, that's in my opinion, a good idea to add in a battle royal. Because you look at it, like, based on recent events of what's going on, Randy Orton is off the card now. And,
Yep.
Here's like wrestlers like Randy Orton, The Miz, John Morrison, The Fiend. So many different names. Most of them I can't even remember. Even Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, Jeff Hardy, Elias. All those big time names, they're off the brand. Like they're off the show because they're not involved in any of the matches. So this is my opinion. That'd be a good way for them to represent it or something. Or... how about this? A 24/7 title match. R-Truth from Raw versus somebody from SmackDown.
Hey, that'd be cool.
Hey, it would still count, right?
I can see that as the show.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Anyways, if we're talking Battle Royal, I'm just going to go ahead and start off and say, I would say Raw with the early lead on that. 1 point on Raw for me. Willie, your turn.
Well,
Okay, that's 2 points in favor of Raw. Okay, see, there's me, there's Ryan, there's Willie, there's K-Money, there's Leo. There's 5 of us in this call right now. So, and 2 are in the lead of SmackDown, so best of 5, best 3 of 5. So, Raw's up with 2. Leo, if there's a Battle Royal, which brand do you think will win?
My opinion, SmackDown, with the final person in the ring being Otis.
Ha!
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Tucky.
Two,
There.
Okay, 2-1. And K-Money?
Yeah, I'm going with Team Blue.
All right.
Quite possibly the last person, possibly being the guy that we forgot about, or at least I forgot about until I did research. The last guy from SmackDown being Aleister Black.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
That's 2-2. Raw SmackDown. Ryan, you break the tie.
Oh boy. So, I would honestly, if there is a battle royal that takes place, I would say somebody from Raw would have to win.
Oh, Raw with the win, folks.
You're fired.
Nah,
You're fired.
Oh, Ryan, who would you think would be the last one standing?
I could probably see, in my opinion, I could see Jeff Hardy or,
Jeff
maybe
Hardy.
somebody like
Jeff Hardy's SmackDown,
that's
by the
right.
way. That's okay.
Yeah, I can see something like Jeff Hardy or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
Or sure, if
SmackDown.
even Randy Orton was in it, I mean, shoot, he could win it.
All right, folks. Let's just say that was in favor of Raw, folks. Raw up 1-0 so far in our overall predictions. But this is on the very case that there is a battle royal, because I got a feeling there will be a 7th match just added into the pre-show, because you never know. It makes sense. We want to make sure there's no tiebreaker.
Yeah.
No tie. Sorry. I mean, if the main event is the tiebreaker match, then that's great. That makes things more exciting and puts on the added pressure, and I love that. Let's see. We're gonna move on to the next match. We're gonna talk the champions versus champions match before we get to the Survivor Series elimination matches. So we'll start things off with the tag team champions, as the Raw tag team champions, the New Day, take on the SmackDown tag team champions, the Street Profits. It's kind of funny to think that a month ago they were tag champs, just the other way around.
Yeah,
I know, right?
And a lot of people said that was
crazy.
lazy booking, and I said this in the draft review that we did, that the swapping over of the titles was the only logical choice. Otherwise, why the hell did you draft them over to the other side?
All right.
Yeah, I'm like, a simple title exchange, it makes sense. People are like, oh, we want a unification match. Shut the fuck up.
There's no tag teams. That's the thing. There's no tag teams. You can merge them, which I've been saying they should, but come on, I'm a simple YouTuber and loser.
Yeah, like
I mean, it's
He's
almost
just a YouTuber.
it's pretty much almost to the point of like the women's tag team divisions, pretty much.
yeah, but here's the thing. Like, I have faith that, we'll get things back on track in a moment. 2020's been a challenging year for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I can understand this. In the meantime, New Day and Street Profits were on separate sides before, but now, well, New Day's Raw and Street Profits are SmackDown. And I'm thinking, I'll start it off with this one. I think the Street Profits will take the win on that, so that's 1 point for SmackDown. Ryan, you go next.
This one's 50-50 for me. I would go with the Street Profits, but I'm gonna go somehow. I just see the New Day winning this. I don't know why, but I'm gonna go with the New Day.
All right, 1-1, tied up again. Willie, your turn.
Just like Ryan said, this is 50-50. I love both these tag teams. I'm gonna go with the Street Profits to win. I think New Day could put them over. Some of the Street Profits. I'd be surprised if it's the other way around. I'm in Street Profits.
All right, that's 2-1 in favor of SmackDown. Leo.
Well, considering the building tension that's been going on SmackDown with the Street Profits and Big E, my prediction for this match is going to be New Day with the win, with the help of Big E helping the Raw side of New Day to beat the SmackDown side of the Street Profits, because, well, they're brothers in arms. They're always going to be there to support each other. So I'm going to say New Day.
Could you imagine if Big E ends up being the 5th member of the Men's Survivor Series match right before, and prior to that, he just does that?
I can see
I
that.
can see it.
I can see it.
It's going to make the rest of Team SmackDown not trust him, huh?
I could definitely see that.
And K-Money, you break the tie.
Well, seeing as how I already have my red solo cup with me, I'm going with the Street Profits with a Street Profits heel turn.
Oh, Street
Like
Profits.
they were cheap to win.
Okay.
Street Profits
Okay.
heel turn. Whoa, that should be interesting.
All right.
All right, SmackDown wins that one. So as of right now, the score's tied 1-1 here. I actually like how we're doing this. Raw to SmackDown 1-1 here. So we don't even. I think this is a good thing because we don't know exactly what to choose.
Yeah.
I think
I
that's the
know.
best part about this. But eventually,
Yeah, like,
before the
the-
Sunday takes place, we're going to have to make our final choice on which brand we're going to root for because, well,
Yeah.
we need to get into it and we need to wear our colors.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's the whole thing. And even, even if it hasn't been that great of a build-up, still, these matches are very unpredictable.
Yeah, well, you can't even tell who's going to win this one. The next
I
one,
know, it's crazy.
the next match we're going to move on to is a match we have seen several times, but I think things will be a lot different in this case. That's the Raw Women's Champion Asuka versus the SmackDown Women's Champion Sasha Banks. Yes, they faced off several times. However, I see something completely different out of this one. Because Sasha Banks wasn't the person just hanging out with Bayley all the time anymore. And ever since she successfully retained the a women's title for the first time ever, what do you think of that? Congrats, Sasha, you finally did it!
Woo!
Only took you about...
Definitely more than we could say for Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, she didn't lose because of a wheel spin. I mean, what?
Yeah, to some rando named Leon Ruff.
That she herself rigged. I mean, what?
Hey, that's hilarious. But let's see. Asuka and Sasha had quite a rivalry in 2020. They faced off several times, and they had good matches. They had great matches. I will give them that. Like, that's the one thing that people are really counting out on this, is they had great matches. Mm-hmm. So who the hell says this will not be a great match, all because we've seen it before? I mean, you got a problem with that? Like, seriously, I understand. Yes, they have faced off. Why does that mean they should not ever again?
Exactly.
Like, think of all the great matches that happened more than once. Like, for example, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, or Stone Cold versus The Rock.
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Yeah, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens is a big example of that. This one is a tough one for me to pick because I'm very impressed with Sasha's recent path of domination ever since she defeated Bayley at Hell in a Cell. But at the same time, there's Asuka who, well, nobody is ready for Asuka. So that has me.
I remember that used to mean something.
I don't know what to pick on that case. So that's why I'm actually going to start off with K-Money. You pick.
I have Asuka beating Sasha Banks because, sneaky Bayley. Either Bayley or Carmella is going to call Sasha.
That is true. After all, she's got two major targets here. All right, that's 1 point up for Raw. Leo, you're next.
Well, for this one, I'm going to say Sasha wins this match, but just barely. I'm going to say she counters the Asuka lock into a surprise roll-up and wins like that. But then afterwards, she's going to most likely get attacked by Carmella and her red dominatrix outfit.
Red dominatrix. That's a good one.
Red dominatrix.
All right, 1-1. Tied up a SmackDown and Raw. That was a pretty hilarious reference. Ryan, your turn.
Corey definitely likes that outfit.
Oh my gosh. Without a doubt, I think these two are going to put on a great matchup. They had a very fantastic rivalry over the summer. Of course, Asuka being, majority, the winner, majority throughout the rivalry. But I think this time it's going to be the other way around. I think Sasha Banks is finally, going to defeat Asuka this time around. So, got to go with Sasha Banks.
All right. 2-1. Very interesting on that case. SmackDown's in the... Well, you said Sasha beat Asuka, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's SmackDown's tied up 2-1. Willie, your turn.
This is a tough one. I am going to go with Sasha to get the win. I'm going to hop on the back of the other guys that said that. I do think she's going to win, and she's going to get jumped by Carmella or Bayley or both. So I'm going with Sasha. Especially with I think they would want Sasha to win also because, I don't know if there's a play into it, but because she's also just came out with The Mandalorian. And maybe they want to do with that, her winning with the publicity or whatever. Maybe they'll play into her winning or whatever, but I'm going to go with Sasha. Just because I like Sasha.
Wait, you just said, hold up a second. Did you just say Mandalorian?
Yes, I did.
What is this
I
about?
know what's coming.
You know what's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, season 2 of The Mandalorian is available on Disney Plus. And Disney Plus, if you haven't subscribed, go right ahead, do it right now. It is only $8.99 a month, and you get to see over 500 different movies, TV shows, classics, nostalgia, original content, new stuff, old stuff from like childhoods or maybe your children's childhoods coming up. And it's absolutely a wonderful place. It celebrated its 1-year anniversary last week, and it still has not let me down. It's still a great place to watch a lot of my favorite stuff that I watched when I was a kid. A lot of stuff I like enjoying these days. And Star Wars The Mandalorian is absolutely wonderful. It's a great series, the first ever live action series that Star Wars ever did. It's absolutely great. A lot of other stuff they added in was also great. And like I said, if you haven't subscribed yet, you can do it right now. It's $8.99 a month. You can cancel your subscription anytime if you ever feel like you're not having a good time with it. But it's a great place to have, and it's a good place to enjoy nice movies, especially when you're locked in quarantine during these rough times. So, ladies and gentlemen, go subscribe to Disney Plus.
And if
Doing that.
Where's
you
our
want the show that you can tell your kids about, and your kids can tell their kids, and their kids can tell their grandkids about, then what the hell are you waiting for? Go out there and go subscribe to Disney motherfucking Plus.
Yeah.
The losers lodge approved this message.
Yep.
Where's our money?
Advertising Disney Plus is a hilarious running gag here. Anyways, so yeah, Willie selected Sasha Banks, so SmackDown gets the win on that 3-1. I've yet to pick mine, but I'm also gonna say yes, Sasha Banks is gonna win this one. So 4-1. Well, look at that, 4-1. SmackDown. SmackDown takes the lead now, 2-1 in our overall predictions. Back and forth stuff. That's how it goes. Now the next match is the Midcard Champions match. The Raw's United States Champion Bobby Lashley versus SmackDown's itty bitty Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn.
Or I like to call him because of that storyline that happened with "I'm the real Intercontinental Champion." Discount Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to say Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley.
Oh man, this is so difficult for me. Do I go with the dude who looks like Marv from Home Alone or Bobby Lashley?
Wait.
I think I have to go with Bobby Lashley.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Marv from Home Alone?
Man.
Are you sure he doesn't look like Harry? Speaking of which, the Christmas season is coming.
Together, we have no Brett Bandit's WWE edition.
Yeah, let's just get Joe Pesci in the WWE
God.
for no reason.
Joe Pesci.
Yes.
Let's take a look here. That reminds me. Yeah, the Christmas season, folks, is coming up very soon, and when that happens, well, go crazy with all your favorite Christmas movies and TV show specials, especially Charlie Brown. Sorry, watch Charlie Brown Christmas.
What?
Watch the Charlie Brown Christmas special, y'all.
God. Oh my goodness.
All right. So, Marv from Home Alone is taking on Bobby Lashley. Does someone get
Looks more
Michaela?
like
Somebody
Prince
get
Harry.
all right. Somebody get Michaela. All right, can somebody get Michaela Culkin on the phone, please?
Oh god.
Okay. Anyways, so who have you picked?
I'd pick Bobby Lashley.
Okay, Raw wins this one easily then. But Leo, go ahead and pick yours.
I'm gonna say Lashley, unless Sammy surprises us with, I don't know, some cheap tactic, bringing back Lashley's sisters to help him.
Oh
I don't
God,
know.
not again!
God.
Not
No.
again!
Yep.
But yeah, Lashley's gonna win.
All right, and Ryan.
Lashley.
All right, so that's 5-0 for Lashley. Raw gets the win on that one. So now it's once again tied 2-2 as we get to, without a doubt, the most difficult one to pick. Raw's WWE Champion Drew McIntyre versus SmackDown's Universal Champion Roman Reigns. And initially it was going to be Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns, but this past Monday on Raw, Randy lost the WWE title back to Drew McIntyre, which I said, thank God!
This makes a whole lot more sense.
Yeah, Randy Orton should not have been champion in the first place. I don't understand why they did that.
And like I kind of get in a way, like, okay, maybe it's to get closer to Ric Flair's record, but still, though, it's pointless to have a title change like that.
Exactly. I personally think the only reason they put the title on Orton was a big, just to say thank you for what you've done for the business, but still.
I was just about to say that, too.
Like, I don't know. I'm not upset about it. I mean, I'm just kind of looking forward to it because, like, obviously his last run as WWE champion didn't last that long either. So, what's the point? I guess, like I said, it was a thank you, but I don't know.
Yeah, and besides, if it was Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns, I think all of us would have easily picked which one we're going to go for. But this is different. We're talking the two top guys on either brand. Drew McIntyre, let's face it, who's the top face of the WWE right now?
Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre. Who's the top heel in WWE right now?
Proved that. Roman Reigns is the top heel.
Yeah.
Roman.
The top face versus the top heel. This should be the freaking main event. Do you agree?
It should.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think it will.
Score
And
should
if
be,
not, I'm gonna-
the score
that's
should
the
be
whole
tied
thing.
3-3, right?
Yes, like this should be the tiebreaker,
This needs-
honestly, because like without a doubt, like I said, top babyface versus top heel, like it made so much more sense.
Yep.
It does.
And here's a Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns. They previously clashed off at WrestleMania 35 in 2019 in a match that was completely lackluster. But that was a different Drew McIntyre and a different Roman Reigns.
Yep.
Mhm.
At least they have
These
a
are
better
all new,
ground.
basically.
Ever since that happened,
Basically
Drew
new
McIntyre has been the most dominating wrestler on Raw. 2020, in my opinion, is Drew McIntyre's year. If the Slammy Awards came back into existence, he should be Superstar of the Year.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Should.
Like
Oh, yeah.
this year, honestly,
You're mad.
this year has pretty much proven that Drew McIntyre is a solidified main eventer.
Yep. So
Facts.
that's why I'm glad they put the title back on McIntyre, and that's why I'm glad they're going to have him take on Roman Reigns, because even if Roman might still win, we have a better chance of having the thought of our head that Roman might actually lose. I mean, it'd be a lot easier than Randy Orton being the champion, and we're like, okay, so Roman's going to crush Randy Orton here.
Exactly.
Plus, here's the thing. Like, Randy Orton also a heel. So, we're not looking for top heel versus another top heel here, which would have been fine, I guess. But I'm like, this is a big opportunity that they better not waste, and to have Drew McIntyre, the top face, versus Roman Reigns, the top heel. And I've always said, like, big time matches between the top good guy versus the top bad guy, that's money. This is money.
Yep.
Vince McMahon's favorite thing.
Yeah. And here's the thing. People can call Vince McMahon selfish for that, although we've called him selfish for other reasons, and we're not going to talk about that. Zelina Vega. But,
Yeah.
we're not going to talk about the selfishness that led to that. But, what we will say is, like, even if Vince has made a lot of controversial moves, that doesn't mean he's never going to make really good ones. This is an example of one of his really good ones.
Yeah.
And I personally love this because this could go either way. And here's the thing. And Jizz Dick from his mom's basement was complaining about this match.
What else
Is
is
he from,
real?
is he from New York?
Yeah, he said like this just made the whole thing pointless, and saying, what does either of these guys gain from this match? I'm like, oh my god, what an idiot. What's going to be the result of this? No titles on the line. I'm like, oh my god, have you not been paying attention to what Survivor Series is all about? Fucking asshole.
A wrestling fan doesn't know how this whole thing works.
He only pays attention to what he wants and what his followers want. So yeah, he's a nobody. He's irrelevant.
He's a big fizzy douche. Everybody knows that.
He also thinks that this guy also thinks that the NXT that he loves is dead. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Finn Balor...
He's probably talking about the reality show.
And then right after that, Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly put on a show stealer.
Wait, Christian, I forgot. Chris Jericho said that match was too dangerous. Whatever.
Well, Chris Jericho is just a cranky ex-wife now these days. Remember, Jericho is a lot more, no offense, he's a lot more irrelevant these days.
He is. I still respect him, though, but he's so irrelevant. Just like people who call themselves
Not to mention, what the hell does Chris Jericho have to complain about? He's had a better career than most.
Exactly. Whatever. He's leading a worthless stable involving MJF, so...
Good point.
And I'm like... And there are irrelevant fans out there there are irrelevant wrestling fans who have 434 idiotic brain cells. So yeah,
434.
There are certain ones that say the dumbest shit on the twit of the turd.
So yeah,
they changed the profile.
Anyways, back to what I was saying. Jizzy Dizzy says this match is absolutely stupid. I'm like, this honestly makes things better for Survivor Series actually. And if you don't like it, well, that's fine, but stop calling people clowns because they think it is.
We call some fan base clowns because, let's face it, I mean, some of our fans can be a little excited, but we still love you guys. But then there are the fans out there who just completely take things out of control.
For a guy that calls almost everybody clowns, JD does wear a lot of makeup.
And if you ask me, he's the one clown that the Joker doesn't want to mess with.
He does shit that even Pennywise would say, dude.
Now, even that is scary. That is scary.
Okay, back to this match, though. We're going to talk about stuff that is actually relevant. Back to McIntyre versus Reigns. This is something I thought about for the past couple days. I don't even know who to go for in that one because, for one thing, of course, I don't know which brand I'm going to be representing just yet. But even from the standpoint, these are the top two world champions who deserve their spot in which they are at. For once, we can say Roman Reigns was not shoved down our throats. A lot of people are saying that finally. I'm like, finally. So, I am going with Drew McIntyre. I picked Drew McIntyre. All right, Leo, it is your turn.
Well, I'm actually thankful that it's Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns because any match that Randy Orton had with Roman Reigns, I was bored out of my mind. Sure, yeah, the WrestleMania match with Drew and Roman wasn't that good, but they made up for it at their match at Stomping Grounds.
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah, this is probably the biggest curveball match they could throw at us because, you really don't know who to root for. But I'm thinking Roman is gonna win because The Miz is gonna do something to distract Drew McIntyre. Roman hits the spear, wins the match. Then Miz will cash in on Drew McIntyre.
That's another thing. That's another thing I thought about. The Miz could cash in during the match. Suddenly, the match is for one of those two titles because, well, just so people are clear, it can't be for both titles because that's not how it works.
That'd be funny though.
But here's the thing: even if Miz wins, that still technically counts as a point for Raw because that's what Brandy's on.
Imagine if he went for the Universal title and brought it to Raw.
Oh my god!
He better not try that. Murdered in seconds.
Yeah.
destroyed in
Not
seconds.
He will not be walking.
Yeah. All right. So.
And I guess
Used to pamper him.
All right. So Leo
And
picks
I-
Roman. So that's 1-1 favor of Raw and SmackDown. K-Money, go ahead.
you know me, I'm a big Roman fan, so I'm going with the tribal chief. And also, can we just talk about how scared Paul Heyman is of Roman now?
Yeah.
Like, he always gives this look now that he's like, oh my god, what the hell did I just unleash? What the hell did I just do?
As a matter of fact,
Yeah,
actually,
easy.
something I find hilarious is Clash of Champions when Paul Heyman was reminding Roman, "You are the tribal chief." The look on his face said, "Why did I even hire you?"
He's looking like, man, if you don't shut the fuck up.
I was like, man, now I understand why a lot of people don't want to work with you. All right,
He's
so
like,
you pick
well, I
Roman.
get it, I hired you, but please, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Before I spear the shit out of you.
So K-Money picks Roman. That's 2-1 now in favor of SmackDown. Ryan, your move.
Okay. This one is very tough.
And that's another thing. That's another thing we've been saying about these matches. It's tough to pick.
I know, that's the whole thing. And that's what's so freaking great about Survivor Series. Because you don't know. I mean, it's not like these other pay-per-views where some of them are pretty easy to predict. Like, you just don't know. And like you said, you got the top face versus the top heel. I love Drew McIntyre. Like, he has been absolutely amazing. Like, you know, ever since he won the Royal Rumble, like, even being there, that pop that he got that night, that legit got him. That's the biggest cheer he's probably gotten his whole career. Probably it would have been louder if there were fans at Mania to see his world title run or world title win. Excuse me. But you know that right there, like that's just absolutely amazing. Like this has been Drew McIntyre's year, and what a big win it would be to get a win over Roman Reigns. But however, though, as much as I love Drew McIntyre, I am going to have to go with Roman Reigns just because I feel like the edge is going to go towards him. I feel like they're going to make him more dominant than Drew McIntyre. I mean, Drew is okay with taking a loss. I don't think that would really hurt his momentum.
A loss would not. Loss would honestly not hurt either of these guys. Actually.
Yeah, that's true. But I just and the reason why is because I feel like they're going to really, 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 really push Roman, possibly even to the point where he's probably not even defeated until Mania. I could really see that, maybe, or who knows, whatever.
I've said this before that Roman Reigns, in my opinion, should be champion even past WrestleMania.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Roman should be champion next year.
I could see him holding it to like all the way to next, like SummerSlam, or even possibly past that. Because I mean, he's done so great.
How about I'll be honest. I'll even go along this side. WrestleMania 38. Imagine if he breaks Brock Lesnar's record. That'd be good.
I'd be okay with that.
What?
Not even just break it, but fucking annihilate it.
That'd be great.
Yep.
But Ryan, you picked Roman Reigns to win this match, huh?
Yes, I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns, and you know what? I could see the Miz cashing in. I could see the Miz cashing in on Drew McIntyre. I could really see that.
All right,
that's another why I feel like this should main event. Have Roman win, and then close the show with the Miz cashing.
And you know what's crazy? Let's also not forget.
Yeah.
10 years ago, on November 22nd, 2010, The Miz cashed in on Randy Orton to become the WWE Champion. November 22nd, 2020. Could it happen again?
Well, except on Drew McIntyre, not Randy Orton. But here's the thing. If it had been Randy Orton, here's the thing.
Yeah, I know. You get my point.
Here's the thing. Not only was it on the same day 10 years ago and Randy Orton was WWE Champion, Miz was Mr. Money in the Bank, just like this year, it's also in the same location, Amway Center in Orlando.
Yep.
Same location.
But there's only one thing missing, though.
Alex Riley.
The angry Miz girl.
Yeah. We need her. Just put her on the Thunderdome this Sunday.
Yeah, just do it just for the heck of it.
And
Bro, I guarantee if that happens, somebody is gonna post that. Somebody's gonna put it on the Thunderdome. I guarantee.
That'd be
And I
awesome.
don't know for sure, but I think she follows me on Instagram.
What even is she still like
I don't
even
know.
around these
I
days?
don't know.
Like,
But anyways, Ryan picks Roman Reigns. That's 3-1, so SmackDown gets the win on that. But
Yeah.
Willie, go ahead and pick your prediction.
All right, who do I have between these two great champions? You have the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, and we have the Scottish psychopath Michael Cole, the Scottish Warrior. Yeah, with that crap. Scottish psychopath WWE Champion Drew McIntyre. Who am I going to pick? The Claymore Kick or the Spear? The Superman Punch or the Glasgow Kiss? I am going to go with Roman Reigns to go over.
My man.
Roman Reigns to go over in this match.
Okay,
Yes,
4-1.
What?
I'm the only guy who
What?
picked Drew McIntyre.
Fuck it, I'll go Drew McIntyre just to be nice to you.
No,
Why not?
no, don't do that.
All right, fine. So I'm Roman Reigns. I was choosing Roman from the very beginning to win this, regardless of who it was going to be. Randy Orton or Drew McIntyre. Roman Reigns is going to win this match. It's not going to hurt either one of them if they lose. I do see the Miz maybe teasing a cash in, and unlike some people, the referee's not going to stop his count.
Yeah. Okay.
It's going to win.
With that being said, SmackDown now takes the 3-2 lead as we go into the two Survivor Series matches. We're going to start off with the women's 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match. And as of this podcast recording, folks, 2 members of Team SmackDown have yet to be determined. So we're going to put in who we believe are going to be in there. So I'm going to start and say Billie Kay and either Carmella or Bayley. The reason I said Billie Kay is because Peyton Royce is on the other side.
True.
So I would love that. Willie, who do you think will be the 2 members to go in?
That's a tough one. Carmella, and I'm going to do a shocker one here. Rhea Ripley.
Really?
Rhea Ripley. Because I do not see her being Io Shirai, and she's done everything in NXT. I see her being called up and her being on SmackDown. I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley.
How great was Rhea Ripley's WrestleMania match with Charlotte Flair?
it was really good.
A lot of screaming.
Yeah.
She was seriously on the verge of Melina territory.
Oh, okay, let's not get that far.
I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
K-Money, who do you believe will be the final 2 members of Team SmackDown?
Either Carmella and Bayley.
All right. And
All right.
Leo?
I'm gonna say Billie Kay, and because they've been teasing it ever since after Hell in a Cell, Natalia.
Ah, good point. She's been struggling to get in there for a long time.
Natalia?
Yeah.
Natalia?
Yeah.
So they want to be Ariana Grande? Okay. Ew.
Hey, don't you disrespect the best women's wrestler today. No, I'm just kidding.
I thought
I'm
that's
joking.
Natalia. Natalia. Natalia's more like a knockoff version of Catwoman, except she's nowhere near as sexy as Selena Kyle.
Wow. All right. Ryan, who do you think will be the final members of Team SmackDown?
I'm gonna go with Billie Kay and Carmella.
All right. Well, as we all know, the confirmed members of Team SmackDown are Bianca Belair and the Riot Squad, Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan. The members of Team Raw are Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Lana, Lacey Evans, and Peyton Royce.
Yeah.
Initially, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke were on the team, but they got, well, here's the thing. Mandy Rose was legitimately injured, but they decided to have have them storyline injured, you know.
Mhm.
As for Lana, well, she keeps going through the table after table after table after table after table.
Oh my God, that's quite possibly the shortest one in my opinion.
WrestleMania 37 next year.
Yeah,
And
here's the other thing. Like, I want to point this out right now to anybody saying this. I already posted this on my social media. Nia Jax did not legitimately injure Mandy Rose. That was Mandy's fault. Because I look back on it. I looked back on it. She threw Mandy Rose out of the ring. Mandy got herself caught on the ropes on her own accord and then landed on the floor wrong. Nia Jax did her part. She did not aggressively shove her out of the ring like that. She threw her out the way anybody would normally do it. So she did her part well. It's just Mandy got stuck for a moment.
So hop on my Twitter, little keyboard warriors.
And not to mention also, Nia Jax, she's not exactly as unsafe as you claim she is because she put Lana through a table 9 consecutive weeks and injured her 0 times. Not to mention, people keep saying that she's doing this stuff on purpose. I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
That's bullshit.
Oh my God.
How can you a table on purpose? Guys not using your brains. Oh, that's right. Twitter sphere.
Yeah. Anyways, though, let's see. A lot of people are like, there's not a lot of star power in this match, but at the same time, there could be quite a big difference with these 2 remaining members of SmackDown. Plus, if I'm being honest, Lana should also be replaced, but by Charlotte Flair.
Thank you.
Because honestly, folks, we need Charlotte Flair. I hate to say it, but we need Charlotte Flair.
People like
and I
it
can't
or
believe I'm about to say what I'm about to say what I have to say, but I actually miss Charlotte.
I do too.
We need, whether you like it or not, you know we're right. We need Charlotte Flair at this point.
She is star power, whether you like it or not.
Whether she's the daughter of Ric Flair and the John Cena in the women's division, that's up for debate. But Charlotte Flair is desperately back on this show because, let's face it, Raw and SmackDown, the women's divisions are dead. They're deader than a freaking doorknob. And the doorknob's pretty freaking dead because it's not alive. It's more deader than Tony Khan's freaking roster. I mean, what?
Wow.
It's more dead than the women's division of the other company. I mean, what? Come again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not here to take shots, but okay.
Yeah.
Like, I agree. Like, we need Charlotte Flair, not just on the team, but honestly, we need her back in general because Raw needs star power. I mean, yes, we got Asuka, but that's it. I mean, Becky is out. I mean, her baby's due any time now, but Becky Lynch, she's still gonna be gone for a long time because of the child.
Another year.
Yeah, probably.
I don't even think for the year. I think she's gonna be gone for I think we'll see her back in probably 2 years.
And I also hate to say this, but fuck, I'm probably gonna get heat for saying this. But honestly, we need Ronda Rousey back.
Thank you. No. Screw the heat. Ronda is needed at this point. Charlotte's needed. There's nobody there. And people could say, oh, we don't need Ronda Rousey back because Becky's not here. Who cares? Becky's gone. Get used to it. Seriously, Ronda is needed. Charlotte's needed. The women's division is dead. Those tag team titles that Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax are carrying, they're dead. Because the division is dead, whether you like it or not. And no, ladies and gentlemen, bringing back irrelevant stars like the Bella Twins is not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Damn thing.
Seriously.
Get mad.
Yeah, you couldn't possibly look at the Bella Twins and think they equal money in wrestling. Reality shows, sure, fine. They can make all the money in the world plus more. But no, not in WWE.
But they can bring stardom and relevancy to the tag team titles.
As a matter of fact, Bella's literally just had children 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Well, it was 4 months ago, but still.
Yeah, 4 months ago.
reality television shows and stay away right now, okay? You're not needed. The only reason you'll be coming back is to get a Hall of Fame induction. That's the only reason you're going to come back, and that's the last time I'm discussing this. I am so tired of these people saying the Bella Twins need to come back for an irrelevant title run. Those titles are dead. They've been dead since they were introduced years ago. They're dead now.
If they take away the women's tag team titles, then we might actually have a better looking roster.
Thank you. There was no need to reduce tag team titles. No reason. The only reason they were reduced because the Twitter sphere and the stands were crying because of stupid equality. Well, guess what? Your equality's out the window. Get used to it. Get mad. Suck it. Get used to it. Keep crying. I'm real pissed off with that.
So, when I look at the other members of Team Raw, let's see. Aside from Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, I don't really see much of a big threat. I mean, with the likes of Lana, Peyton Royce, Lacey Evans could be a good one, because I see she did pretty well last year's Survivor Series. She managed to survive for a long time before she got eliminated. But Lacey Evans proves, in my opinion, that she can hang in there with the big times.
She can. I mean, even she's proven me a pretty big hater of hers. Wrong.
She may have gotten into like a little bit of a too long feud with Becky Lynch last year, but she proves she can hang with the best.
She can.
And look at Team SmackDown. Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan, not much of a threat. Ruby Riott, she can do well. Bianca Belair is the one I have my eyes on.
Yeah. She's money, dude. She's money.
Hell, I believe, here's the thing, Bianca Belair, she did well at the Royal Rumble earlier this year. And not to mention that, but also she did very well at Survivor Series last year because she eliminated 2 participants, both from Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair has proved that she has she has a good streak on her. She can do very well, so she can hang in there.
Mm-hmm.
She set records at the Royal Rumble, and she did well at Survivor Series last year. So keep an eye on her to do very well, because maybe after that whole thing's done with Sasha Banks and Bayley and Carmella, she could take her. You never know, Bianca Belair could get a title shot in the future. I'd love to see that.
I wouldn't mind it.
I would not mind a feud with her and Sasha Banks.
Yeah, the two biggest threats on Raw are Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. But most notably, Shayna Baszler. Y'all remember what she did at the Elimination Chamber?
Which I was there for. I was there for that.
Yeah, she could she could single-handedly eliminate all of Team SmackDown.
Pretty much. By herself.
Just like she did at the Elimination Chamber when she eliminated every participant.
Almost killed Liv Morgan in there. I can still hear that sound.
Oh, man, you should have been there. You should have been at the chamber when that noise was heard. Oh my God, I can hear that all the way from where I was sitting.
So, that's what I'm saying. There could be a really good chance that Shayna Baszler will dominate pretty well in this match. Just because she's teamed with Nia Jax doesn't mean she's no longer the dominating person she used to be. I mean, she still has shown what she's capable of. And in my opinion, if the tag team titles didn't exist, I guarantee she'd be a credible threat to Asuka.
She would.
She still could be.
Maybe.
We don't know what the future is going to bring. But for now, I'm going to pick... I pick Raw. I pick Raw, honestly. A big reason for it, it's not just Nia and Shayna, but I also have this weird feeling that Lana could somehow be the sole survivor by accident.
Oh, God.
And imagine this, after this, on the 10th week, what if Lana puts Nia through a table?
I could see it.
The rest of here's like Mandy Rose and Dana Brooks show up or something after everything's all said and done. Let's say if Team Raw loses and Nia's getting pissed, so she starts stripping the table again. Mandy and Dana show up. They take down Nia. They put her on the table. Lana climbs to the top rope, Shane McMahon style, and then just leaps through the table.
Or they could do it Shield style.
They cannot leap that far.
Yeah.
Off the barricade, maybe, but the top turnbuckle is too far for her.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
So maybe like Willie mentioned, triple power bomb Shield style or something.
Yeah.
And it's funny that we were, because this what I was about to say, this is about Lana. When her and Natalia was teaming together, me and Will, we actually came up with the funny ass name for that tag team.
Oh yeah.
What was it?
The Anal Heart.
Yep.
Wow.
As long as they backwards is anal. Anal heart. Get it?
Good point.
Or I got one. Heart and whole. You know, because
That's just weird. Okay, then. Anyways, yeah, I picked Raw on that case. K-Money, go ahead and pick yours.
I think, I think I'm gonna have to go with not SmackDown, with Raw.
All right. Let's see. Leo, what about you?
I got two predictions. One, that curse will finally be broken, but with the table, with what's gonna happen is Nia will get eliminated like halfway through somehow. She's gonna get so upset she's gonna wreck everything. She's gonna pull the steel steps towards the tables. She's gonna pick up Lana when she hasn't done anything. Then go for the Samoan drop, but Lana's gonna get off her shoulders, shove Nia off the steps, and she's gonna fall backwards through the table.
All right.
And for the winners, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with Raw, with Lana being the sole survivor.
Oh. All right. Raw takes the point lead on that one. Now, basically, our scores are tied now, 3-3 in favor of no one's favor as we go to our front match. But first, Ryan, go ahead and get in your prediction.
I am going to go with SmackDown in this one. I think Bianca Belair will be the sole survivor for Team SmackDown because she's been pretty much the hype for quite some time now. So I can see that. Shayna Baszler could be it for Raw. Raw could win, but I got to go with SmackDown.
Alrighty. And finally, Heel Balor.
SmackDown I pick this time going because, as Ryan said, Bianca has been all the talk of the town these past few weeks and past few months. I could see her being the sole survivor, but I could see Raw surviving, but I'm just going to go with SmackDown this time because, I bleed blue, and I'm choosing them this time around. SmackDown.
Okay. 3-2 in favor of Raw. That means our big scores are tied 3-3. This is going to be the tiebreaker prediction as we go to the main event here.
Okay.
The 5-on-5 men's Survivor Series elimination match. Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. There's still a member of SmackDown yet to be determined. We'll get there in a moment. But Team Raw consists of AJ Styles, Keith Lee, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and Riddle. And I'm like, holy shit, that's quite a team, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Team SmackDown consists
I
of
feel
Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, Hot and Sexy, and Seth Rollins.
Sheamus not on the team, you silly goose.
Wait,
Finn
what?
Balor's not the team. What are you talking about?
No. I meant King Corbin. Yeah, that one. I meant King Corbin.
Oh.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I can understand the confusion. Although I don't understand how you could get confused, even though King Corbin's sexier than all the other guys. But anyway, those are 4 members. We still have a member to be determined. I have a variety of picks that I think should be the final member. A lot of people are suggesting maybe Aleister Black. I do not think it should be Aleister because this team is too small, like literally when it comes to size here. Look on Raw's side. We need somebody to combat with the likes of Braun Strowman, and from the looks of Team SmackDown, we don't have that. We have King Corbin, who could definitely match up to like Sheamus. We have Rollins and Jey Uso, who can match up to Riddle and AJ Styles. And we got Kevin Owens, who can match up to Keith Lee. We need somebody who can match up to Braun Strowman. That person, in my opinion, is Lars Sullivan. Yeah.
Good boy.
Because think about it. Like, if you look at the team members of SmackDown, each one can combat with a certain member of Team Raw. And it could actually work out. We need a perfect balance. And Aleister Black? Really? No, would not be a perfect balance at all. Like, he's not some supernatural freak here. We need an actual freak. The freak. Lars Sullivan. And controversial as that may seem, if you look at his abilities in the ring, and then you look at Braun Strowman, it's like, in my opinion, the only one that makes sense. My other pick, if that's not the case, is Big E.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand the big hype of Aleister Black. Like, he's some sort of big main eventer, even though, in my personal opinion, no, he's not. Not exactly in my opinion. However, that's what I'm saying. Like, whoever this fifth member is, and if it's not them, then put in the Undertaker.
Why not? Just why not? I could see it.
Although my first pick would be Lars Sullivan, my second pick Big E, my dark horse the Undertaker. But that's the picks I would pick. Willie, who do you think should be the final member of Team SmackDown?
Lars Sullivan. Who else could it be? Lars Sullivan, Taker, Velveteen Dream.
Ow! Velvet? Wait,
Yeah.
what? That guy's on NXT.
So
We gotta
There's
we need
logic in wrestling.
we need a SmackDown
Exactly.
wrestler.
logic and what?
Well, okay then. Ryan,
Yeah.
who do you think should be the final member of Team SmackDown?
I'm gonna go Big E.
Okay. Let's see. Leo, who do you think should be the final member of Team SmackDown?
John Cena. No, I'm kidding.
Either gonna be Big E or Lars Sullivan. I don't see Undertaker doing it because I actually have something in mind that could happen with his segment on the show.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that after we're done with this one. Well, you pick either Lars or Big E. That's a good one. And finally, K-Money.
Oh man, this is gonna be difficult. Either Lars Sullivan, Lars Sullivan, who else? Yeah, Lars Sullivan, possibly, maybe, not me, maybe Daniel Bryan, possibly Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan already lost his chance.
I
Shut up, Hill Power.
mean, poor guy.
I'm gonna slap you after this. Okay. Lars Sullivan, either someone from bring up someone from NXT. I'm not sure who, but no. Maybe for the hell of it, Bronson Reed.
Cameron Grimes. I'm kidding.
Leon Ruff.
Let the goat.
How about Leon Ruff?
Leon Ruff.
The greatest champion in the history of NXT.
Yes,
Oh,
the
you
greatest
know.
North American of all time.
You know what? How about this? Put in Johnny Gargano. He starts off the match and he loses within 30. He gets eliminated in 30 seconds.
like Mark Henry.
All right. Well,
Just like Mark Henry.
well, here's the thing. You picked Lars Sullivan 3 times. Actually, 4 times. So I'm assuming you think Lars Sullivan.
Yes.
Daddy Lars.
In the meantime,
Yeah, right, yeah.
when I look at here's the Lars Sullivan, in my opinion, would be the perfect one, especially since you've noticed, like, you know, on SmackDown lately, he's been going through these interviews about dealing with bullies, and from the looks of Raw, there's quite a number of those bullies, especially AJ Styles' big bodyguard.
That
That
big dude.
Who I still don't even know who the hell that guy is.
Yeah, I know who that was.
I
Yeah.
still call him the super giant ninja.
I'll be honest, here's the thing. I don't know how if this I don't know if I should say it because I'm afraid people are gonna call me out for saying this. But
Hey, podcast.
I call him tall and dark Great Khali.
That's not even bad. That's actually friggin' accurate.
It is.
At least he can speak fluent English.
Yeah, AJ Styles
Yeah.
didn't even know he could do that.
And meanwhile, I call him the tall and dark John Gonzalez.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. When I look, that's why I'm like, if we put Lars Sullivan on the team, then we have a good balance of wrestlers for both sides. So this could actually work out very well. And once again, the whole unpredictability factor kicks in because Team Raw's been constantly fighting with each other, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to win. Like
Exactly.
anything is possible in this case. There's never once been a united team for Raw versus SmackDown. Each side has members that have problems with each other, and they still manage to get the job done.
2016, which in my opinion is probably the greatest series match in recent history.
Yeah, that match went on for almost an hour, and I didn't even realize it. That's how much fun it was.
So much fun. That build-up was amazing.
Weren't you there for it?
You got luck.
Yeah,
You
it was in my kingdom
you
of
got-
Toronto.
to go.
Yeah.
You got an event to go to. You got a 53-minute SmackDown versus Raw match, and then you got a 90-second Goldberg Lesnar match.
Yeah. Like, what the heck?
So this is honestly the toughest choice I could make because I don't know exactly where this is gonna go, but I'm gonna use my gut instincts. My gut instinct says SmackDown will win. So K-Money, your turn.
I think I'm gonna go with Raw with AJ Styles and Keith Lee being the last ones.
Alrighty, not bad. Leo.
I'm going to say Team Raw will win because really they're the only ones whose team has an intercourse story going on because SmackDown's team, they haven't even interacted.
I'm sorry. Hold up a second.
That's what I meant.
Did
Did
he?
Joke.
Did you just
He
say?
wasn't even trying to be funny.
Did you? What was like? Leo? Did you just say Raw's had an intercourse story, while SmackDown has no contact? It looks like Raw's been having a lot of intercourses here.
Well, why you think why you think Riddle gave each of them their own nickname?
Wow.
and he gave Keith Lee the best nickname.
Yes.
Broly. My fellow
man.
anime fans get that reference.
I like how Keith was like. Actually, I kind of like mine.
He's a
Okay.
big anime fan.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with Raw because they're the only ones that have a story going on within the team. But SmackDown, they don't have nothing. They haven't even talked. Not even.
That is a good
Not
plan.
even-
Hopefully on SmackDown this upcoming Friday, hopefully they'll do something. So, especially since we still need a fifth member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Raw will win this one with Keith Lee being the sole survivor for Raw.
All right.
Yes.
All right, Heel Balor, your turn.
My turn. I am going to go with Team Raw. Like these guys just got done saying there's story, not intercourse, story with Team going into this show and going into this match. And like he said, SmackDown has not even interacted. Literally no interaction, no talking, no back and forth banter. So with that being said, I do think Raw will get the win with who I think is going to go being the sole survivor. My boy Keith Lee. That's what I think is going to do it. And yeah.
All right.
Keith
And
Lee.
finally, Ryan.
I gotta go with these guys. I gotta say, Team Raw is gonna get the victory. They look like they have the more star power than Team SmackDown. because like you said, like SmackDown really just hasn't interacted. Like it's just like whatever. With Team Raw, at least they're trying. I know they kind of have like
problems.
their issues and everything, but that's just natural. That's just natural to happen. And really, technically, I think they just tease that just to like think like, oh, like well, it's obvious like, oh, these guys have tensions between each other. They're not going to get along in Survivor Series. Majority of the time, they end up winning.
And you bring up another Ryan. You bring up another good point. The same could go for the SmackDown women's team. They've not interacted with each other either. Meanwhile, look at Raw.
That's true.
It seems like they're putting in more of the effort here.
Yep.
So, that's 4-1 in favor of Raw. So, everybody here predicts Raw is going to win Survivor Series for the 4th consecutive time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can see it.
All right.
Sorry, SmackDown.
Wait, Christian, you remember how we were advertising Disney Plus again?
Yeah.
We actually forgot about something.
What did we forget?
What?
A certain mouse has a birthday today.
Happy
Oh, that's
birthday,
right, I
Mickey
forgot.
Mouse.
He turns
Happy birthday to Mickey Mouse.
I go to the old mouse.
90 years old.
Hey, he still looks young.
Crazy.
I know, right? All this fucking still going wild. So, folks, that concludes our, match predictions for Survivor Series. And the final score, 4-3 in favor of Raw. The Losers Lounge and our guests believe Monday Night Raw is going to win for the 4th time. Poor SmackDown, huh?
Yeah.
However, for whatever happens, here's the thing. For whichever brand we actually are going to pick, we're only talking predictions here, but whichever brand we're actually going to pick to root for Survivor Series, that's entirely different.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Because once we pick a brand, we cannot pick somebody from the other side. We got to stick with
Gotta
you,
stay truthful.
even if you're rooting against somebody you normally cheer for. Anyways, folks, we're also going to bring up the fact that this is 30 years of The Undertaker, and there's going to be a segment where The Undertaker himself will show up. It's called The Final Farewell, which I think is absolute stupidity, and I don't think believe it one bit. Because how many Final Farewells have we seen from The Undertaker?
Many.
Not after like 5.
WrestleMania 30 and then 33. I think that's it.
It was honestly ridiculous. I just don't understand any of this.
You do
But,
it.
folks, I will say that I think it's going to be cool that The Undertaker is going to be there. However, I don't think it's going to be his final farewell. Because I believe there's been talks that, a lot of legends are going to show up or something for his final farewell, along with the likes of Kurt Angle and Kane. So I am thinking there's a variety of things that might happen. I believe that quite possibly we could see a return. Actually, not a return, sorry. We could see The Fiend show up.
I see that.
A big passing of the torch moment where The Undertaker puts over The Fiend, not in a match, but The Undertaker acknowledges The Fiend as the next Phenom. Because let's face it, who better?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I can see that.
I have something in mind, but
All right, go ahead and hit it.
different.
Go ahead.
What you got to do?
Tell us what it.
Here's what I want to see. After all the legends kind of come and say their things for Undertaker, and he's in the ring kind of soaking up the last moments, that's when the Fiend shows up. And then the lights, not show up like they're in the arena, but kind of pitch black, and then both the Fiend and the Undertaker are in their own kind of like unique world. We get a cinematic moment, and then I want to. This is just a crazy little idea I want to see, but I want to see this The Fiend versus the Undertaker in a Boneyard Firefly Funhouse match.
Ooh.
Just a crazy ass cinematic thing. I want to see them like throw tombstones and ghosts. And Earth is kind of crumbling beneath them. Just that kind of wacky stuff. I want to see craziness.
You want to see some Lord of the Rings type shit?
Yeah, I want to. No. You know what I want to see? I want to see a Boneyard Fuckhouse match.
Oh God, no! Oh God!
Oh,
Excuse
what?
me. Excuse me.
Say what?
You heard me.
Oh my
I just
God!
want to see it. I just want to see madness. But in the end, there's no like definitive winner. It's just kind of like one last ride for the Undertaker. He kind of just rides off. The Fiend kind of like mutual respect. Then the last thing you hear is the motorcycle comes in, kind of like Ghost Rider. Undertaker sits in, fists in the air. Want to hear Metallica or maybe You're Gonna Pay, and then he drives off, and that's the end of the show.
Ooh.
Insanity. Well,
Hey, we'll get one more cinematic action there.
yeah. All right, and K-Money. What about you? What do you hope to see for the Undertaker segment?
Obviously, Kane's gonna show up, and maybe, but we could see his OG manager before the late Paul Bearer showed up.
Oh, Brother Love.
Yes,
Okay.
he just
Oh God.
like he just comes from he just makes his entrance and be like, Taker, I love you. And Undertaker might actually have to break character. This might be the only time he might actually have to corpse and actually laugh at him. And this is just me. And maybe, quite possibly, the Fiend would show up, and of course Alexa Bliss would come from behind the Undertaker and jump on him and be like, and Undertaker would look at her like, who the hell are you? Well, can we just talk about how much fun Alexa Bliss is having?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
The match where Bray Wyatt took on the Miz this past Monday. How crazy was it when Miz was on the outside and Alexa just jump scared on the turnbuckle?
Gosh,
I know, right?
I really thought she was going to come from behind the barricade in a Fiend mask.
It was hysterical when she jumped the steps and just tackled Morrison over the barricade. Like,
That was so crazy.
That's who's gonna eat his face. Like, what the heck?
And the Fiend might look like it's about to do something to the Undertaker. Looks like it's gonna put him in the Sister Abigail, but then ends up showing sign of respect, like nodding his head, like.
Oh gosh.
The show ends.
So, Ryan, what do you hope to see for the Undertaker segment?
I think there's gonna be like a message, like a final farewell message. I could see the Fiend appearing. I don't know necessarily like. See, I can see it go like either way. I could see the Fiend attacking the Undertaker, leaving a message. That's probably most likely the realistic option. Or I could just see the Undertaker calling the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, the new face of fear.
I can see it.
Give him like a pass the torch moment, whatever, like kind of something like that.
All right. I like that moment. What about you, Willie?
Shoot, that's a toughy one. Like, I do see them paying respects to the Undertaker. Obviously, maybe he'll be out of character. I could see this being like, maybe he'll come out as Mark Calloway. That'd be pretty interesting. But he'll probably be the dead man for all we know. But I I do see the Fiend getting involved because let's face it, this is not the quote-unquote final farewell. Let's be honest here. I don't know, man. Like, I could see the Fiend coming out, showing respect to Taker, not doing anything, and then for all we know, you know what? I'll just say this to be funny, I guess. What I think could happen, maybe Corbin comes out and just interrupts Taker, and we get a tombstone from Taker, and that's it to end the show. And as we're going off the air, that's when the Fiend shows up. They're playing the logo down there. They'll tease it. We're going off the air. Then the lights start flickering and the spooky music starts. And then the Fiend comes out. That's what I think's going to happen. Corbin's going to come out, show disrespect. Taker's going to get the tombstone. And then we're going to pretend we're leaving the show. And then the lights go out. Fiend comes out, takes out Undertaker. Or maybe the Fiend will be on the stage. And that's how we end the show. That's what I think's going to happen.
Another thing I might also consider happening is, don't worry, I don't intend to say they're going to have a match with each other, is we could possibly see Sting.
Imagine.
Even a moment in the ring where they're just staring each other down would be perfect.
Good.
Because they can't exactly perform like they used to anymore. So this, in my opinion, would be the best thing that we got. And not to mention, also, Undertaker has even revealed himself. He doesn't exactly want the match with Sting anyway.
Especially since it already happened,
years
it
ago.
already happened, long before this.
Yep.
I can see John Cena pulling
accepted a match with Goldberg and nearly died.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would see Taker and go Sting. No.
And did you guys hear how the Undertaker was talking during his match with Triple H at Super Showdown in Australia?
Yeah, that scared the shit out of me.
That was at the point I turned the pay-per-view off.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, that is going to conclude this week's edition of the Lucius Lounge podcast. Thanks, big shout out to Kmoney and Leo for being our guests this time. And Survivor Series, hopefully this Sunday's going to be fantastic. Our big prediction is Raw's going to win again, but who knows? SmackDown could finally get their first point. Could be freaking good for them, I guess. Anyways, I gotta be heading out shortly, so Heel Balor, you know what to do.
We are the Losers. This is our lounge, and you're just living in it. We'll see you on the next one. Too sweet. Peace out.